Hey everybody, welcome to my little world. My name is Kevin Bowers. I'm a professional artist out of Arizona. I've also been in the industry for about 40 years. So in that 40 years I've done a lot of production work as toward making my own materials and stuff like that. And over the course of the next few episodes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through these processes, and you can figure out if you want to do them. The other thing is that the amount of money I save by doing my own canvases alone is probably in the $10,000 to $20,000 per year, because these run me $1.50 to make, and usually the average store charges you $14.95 to $20.95 through the art stores. You might be able to find them for $6, $7 a piece, but for the most part, I make them for like $1.50. Anyway, so that's part of that. Now, one thing I've always taught is kind of the business of fine art, and in the teaching of that, you know, I love how watching these people, they come up with these get rich quick schemes for artists, and then you realize there's no real get rich quick. You have to, you know, what you got to do is just bite the bullet and learn how to do it and do it right. So we're going to talk a little bit about skills, or basically tools, because you can't do anything if you got the tools, and it's always the right tools for the right job. In other words, these stretcher pliers are 86 bucks, but it'd be the best $86 you'll ever spend. I've had these for over 20 years, so that $86 I think was well spent. The other thing you're going to need is a good staple gun. This is a Senko. In fact, I'll just show you. There you go. And you can always sell Senko. It's really a good brand. I've used it in all my shops for the past almost 30 years. Good chop saw, and I'll show you how to chop and join canvases. Take you over the place I'm doing that at. What's next? You know, all these little tiny stupid things that I've been doing that people complain about because they can't do them. So tools are your next thing. Now, you can actually take classes at doing this, but classes to me, they're always in a clinical situation, never in your home, and they will never make you proficient at what you're doing, because most people do not study at home, and they don't take the time to really do it. So what's the alternative? To learn how to use these tools. Well, which industries uses these tools? Okay, there's only basically one industry that uses these, and that's custom picture framing. So I would probably find, you know, my whole philosophy is, why pay to learn it? Why not get paid to do it and learn it? That way you're getting the experience, you're getting the tools, the skills, and the experience it takes to use them, all rolled up in the one. And on top of that, you're getting a paycheck. Go figure that one. I've been stretching canvas for probably 25 years. And I've done it commercially, I've done it privately, had businesses doing it. And you always want your canvas? That's my drum canvas. You know. So you learn these skills, you use the tools to learn the skills, and it gives you the experience it takes to actually make a living at this stuff. From there, all that experience you get, you work for a frame shop for a few years, I guarantee you're going to have enough experience to either open up your own, or, you know, take all those skills and apply it to your own artwork. And that's what I did. Every time I went to do something as an artist, I realized that if I didn't learn how to do it, I was going to have to pay somebody to do this. And that's ridiculous. So I started working for corporate frame shops. I had a few of my own frame shops, and in turn I learned how to do this. Custom picture framing is an inherent part of being an artist. You might as well get paid to learn how to do it. That's one. The other thing that we'll talk about is, what was I going to say? The money savings. Now, this entire time you're learning how to do this stuff, all the saving you're making on your supplies. Oh, I get 25% discount. Well, that's all nice. Why not just learn how to make them? Paint, for example. You know, how hard is it to make paint? Enough recipes out there. Enough simple ones. And also, you already have examples of the best materials out there. So why not learn how to make? Learn how to make, you're not buying. There's an old saying. Give a man a fish he eats for a day, teach him the fish he eats for a lifetime. So which do you want to do? Eat for a day, or do you want to eat for a lifetime? And that's kind of where I come in. I want it good, I want it permanent, and I want you being able to do the job. Because if you're doing the job, then I've done my job. So now that you've seen me do this, yeah, tight. I'm going to walk you through this process. Okay, 4 stretcher bars joined with 4 staples in each corner. Okay, on both sides. So, you know, same thing, there. And I do that first. Then I lay out my canvas, and I take a graphic ruler, and I mark off a 2-inch border all the way around it. And then I lay my, once I do that, then I lay my canvas on top of that, and I line it up. Oh, hang on a second. We'll just make it so you can see that. Okay, then I line it up, staple, take my pliers, pull down, staple, turn it, pull down, staple, turn it over, pull down, staple. From that point though, then I'm going to pull down, run my finger where the nipple is, line it up, angle my staple to where it's the same angle as the one previously, evenly spaced, across there, and then the one on the edge, straight up and down. So it should be something similar to this. Okay? And then I'm going to bend this down. I'm going to create a tail. So, like this. This makes it so you do not have to cut your canvas when you're doing this. Once I do that, I'm going to pull that down. Oh, hang on. Oh, out of staples. Pull that down. And put a staple at 45. So it should look like that. Okay? So I'm going to turn that over like this. Make sure my seam is as close to that edge as possible. But take my pliers as close to that staple as possible. Take my finger, line it up. Angle my staple gun, staple. Now if it's too close to the edge, I will pull down over the whole thing. Center it. Create a pocket. That's what we call a pocket. Okay? So I come over this side here. Now see, this has a little bit of a pucker on it. So material's material. So you want to make sure that, there we go. Now I've already done one side. Now I'm going to flip this over. Because I've done this side here, I'm going to do this side. So I'm going to come in, pull down, same thing, angle, staple. And I suggest whenever you learn how to do this, do it slowly, make sure everything lines up, walk yourself through it, do not overthink the process. Create your tail, pull down, create your thing, and I'm going to come over, I'm going to keep my pliers in my hand, because that's the way I always do this. I'm going to press that down, make sure my crease does not go past that area. Then I'm going to pull down and angle my staple, make sure it's lined up, staple. Again, we come into these areas where it's really tight. So instead of going this way, I can, because that's about even. I'm going to switch and angle with the pocket and straight up and down to make the pocket. Okay. These are things that nobody wants to learn how to do, and I just keep doing the process all the way around. Now notice my staples, whether I'm working this side or this side, is all going to be the same. So I'm going to pull down on that edge, I'm going to push down, take my staple in, run the staple so it's right angled. I'm going to come down here, run a staple there, pull down, fold, line up my staple, make sure my staple is angled the same way, run it, pull, do my one on the side first, come back and do this one, and then 2 staples creates that pocket. Okay, so I'm going to come to this side here. Now how do I know which way I'm looking at? If I do this, then of course my seam's wrong because the seam is running this way, and I'm going to have a really dumb looking pocket. But if I do this here, I'll look for my seams that are going up, like this corner right here, then I know that I've got my canvas oriented right. Pull down. Now at this point you should start hearing what I call the drum, and it should be, drum tight if you've done your job right. Again, I'm going to take that, make my tail, fold that table at a 45. That should go along with the seam of the stretcher bars, because if you've done your job right, those should be perfect 45s. Okay. Staple. If you hear a dud, kind of a dud, I don't know, if it sounds like this, then obviously your canvas isn't stretched. And I'm using this example. This is how your canvas should sound. It should be always taut like this. If it has a dull or dead sound, where it's like this. If it has this sound instead of this sound, it's not stretched right. So if you finish your stretching and it sounds like this, then you're going to have a sloppy canvas to work with, and it's not going to be fun. So that's the reason why you do this enough where you're listening to certain things and you're trying to make sure that your canvas is as tight as possible so you got the best kind of working surface. And this is called being professional. Now, did I take a class on this? No. I actually owned a business, a gallery, and one of the best stretchers in the business worked for me. So he taught me how to do this, and he was pretty critical of everything. So just remember, you're not out of the woods, even if you think you know how to do this. So what I always check for evenness on staples, making sure things are consistent, not wonky. And this is what my series of videos are going to be on. It's all production, all manufacturing, all those kind of things. And little tricks you learn along the way comes from getting all that experience you need in chopping and joining and stretching. And you do about 30,000 of these canvases, I guarantee you're going to get something done. So anyway, guys, my name's Kevin Bowers. They call me the pig man in the art world because I sell so many paintings of pigs. I've done about 7,500 of them so far. I got them in 14 countries. So I've been marketing, selling for about the past 30 years as an independent professional, 35 years as a professional. So all those things are all set. So if you have any questions, contact me through Facebook under Kevin Bowers Fine Art or Kevin Bowers. You can put apostrophe in there. I think it will come up Kevin Bowers. But just look for artists, and that'll be me. If you want to contact me through my phone number is 208-699-9805. Send a message. Do not send a phone call because I get a lot of spam callers, so I block them all. So if you come from an area code where there's a lot of spam callers, it'll automatically kick you out. So guys, this is Kevin. Welcome to my world. Hopefully this has been inspirational and informational. If you've got any questions, please ask. Kevin out.